Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Wade, and in this video I kind of wanted to talk about what's been going on with my car and what I've done to it, and a little bit about the Works reunion that I went to up in Monterey Bay. So what happened was, and I'll make this part really quick, but I had a daily driver. It was a 2014 Audi A4 Quattro, and it was giving problems. I had a problem with the starter, and I felt like that it was time for me to sell the car, because once something major starts to go wrong, that's when everything else starts to happen with cars, at least for me. So I wanted to get rid of it before anything else bad happened to it. And then, of course, after I sold it, that's when I got into an accident with the 996. I had planned on keeping this car as a daily driver, but and you know, it was working fine for a couple weeks, but then that's when I got into the accident, and that's when I realized that it's nice to have two cars. It's very much a luxury to have two cars, and if I can, then I should, because the more that I was driving this car, the more I was putting myself and the car at risk for an accident. So I went out while this car was getting fixed. It took about a month, but while this car was getting fixed, I was renting a car, and then I decided I didn't want to rent anymore, so I went and bought another daily driver, and I'll make a video on that in another video. But it's a 2018 BMW 3 Series, and this is my first time ever owning a BMW, so I'm going to give it a try. It handles great, but that's for another video. So what had happened was, while my 996 was getting fixed, I had signed up for the Works reunion, and I actually had signed up to show the car at the Works reunion, because I keep it in good shape, and you know, it was kind of like the entry-level Concours for the Works reunion, where, you know, daily drivers and owners that take really good care of their cars can clean them up and then put them on display. So I figured that would be kind of my time to shine. And I was surprised, like when I got there was so many cars that were in such great shape. People took such good care of the cars, especially the engine. That was the hardest part for me, was getting the engine clean. And there was some guys that they probably dropped the engines just to detail the engine themselves. I know that Lamborghini had the unveiling of the new Countach up there. I didn't get to see it in person. I would have loved to have seen it, but yeah, stuff like that. You know, things are unveiled during the car week. So it was a fun event. I had a blast. I definitely want to do it again, and it was actually really cool to be on the other side. The last time I went to the Works reunion, I was just a spectator, but it was cool to participate in an event and, you know, get to talk to different people. It was kind of like, you know, while the car is on display, different people walk by and check out the car, and then you get into conversations with different people. So it was fun, and I definitely would do it again. But for this video, I wanted to kind of show you guys what I did to get ready for the car show. So what happened was, when the car was being fixed at the body shop, that's when I had signed up to show the car, and I thought I would have it back a few weeks before the Works reunion, but they actually quoted me, once they had it in their possession and like took a look at it, they said that it wouldn't be ready until a few days before I was to take it up and show it. So it was kind of a crunch when I got the car back. I got it back 4 days before, and what had turned into like a 2-week project was kind of condensed into 4 days. So I kind of wanted to show you guys exactly how I got the car ready and what I did. I'll do like a quick walk around and kind of explain. If I had all the time in the world, I would have filmed myself getting the car ready, but it was incredibly crunched, and I remember it was really hot when I was getting the car, you know, doing certain things to the car, and I must have lost like 10 pounds of water weight that week alone. It was like close to 100, and here I am like outside, you know, getting the car all fixed up and ready, and detailing it, and even in the garage it was blazing hot. So here, I'll take you guys for a walkthrough and I'll show you guys. Okay, so here's the new bumper and it looks great. The body shop that worked on it did an excellent job. You can't even tell that the bumper's been worked on. It looks great. And they had to put an entirely new bumper on. It's not something that they could have just painted over. And it was a much lower cost than if I had gone to a Porsche certified body shop, which is what I did. And of course, when I showed them the damage, they said that I needed a new bumper because there were gaps and the bumper was kind of leaning. And when they pulled it off, they saw that there was clips that were broken, and it needed a new bumper flown in from Germany. So it's looking good. So don't ever listen to the insurance company's initial estimate. Go get your own. I will say, when your insurance company sends you to a body shop that they recommend, don't ever go with that initial estimate, because when I went to the insurance company's body shop originally, they just wanted to spray the original bumper and just be done with it. Okay, so I'll start off with the wheels. I had to pull the wheels off and clean the inside. I went to the chemical guys and picked up a wheel cleaner, and I got into every little nook and cranny in the wheel, like into the lug nut holders. Cleaned off the lug nuts as much as possible. I tried to scrub the calipers, but they were really, I think I need a different type of cleaner for those. Those were really hard to clean up. But I thought, here, you know what? I'll show you a before and after. Here's a before and after. And then what I did was I washed and then clay barred the car. I didn't have enough time to do like a correction, like a paint correction on the car, but I clay barred the car. Let me close this. And then I waxed it. I did go over some parts of the paint with the buffer, but I didn't have enough time to, I just did this panel right here. I didn't have enough time to go over the whole car. And then I cleaned the exhaust tips, polished those up. On the inside of the car, I went through and I bought a detail brush and I went into all the vents here. I went into all the little cracks. Basically the whole dashboard I went in with a brush and brushed everything out. I did that basically for the whole car, the interior, all up in here. I went over it with a leather cleaner, cleaned off the seats, went in with a brush, cleaned out all the little seams in the seats. I made sure I got all the, well, there weren't coins in there, but made sure I got all in here, all the little cracks, everything. Like, I just went over the whole thing with basically the detail brush. I went in and scrubbed the rugs. I vacuumed the rugs back here, cleaned everything out back here. It's dusty now because of the drive home, but I cleaned out all the little crevices. I folded these down. Actually, I'll show you. Folded these down, vacuumed back there. I used a multi-purpose cleaner, scrubbed the rugs back there, vacuumed those out. I also used a leather cleaner back here. The carpets weren't too dirty back here, and the rests, so I left those alone. I just vacuumed them out really well. I made sure to go through all the holders. They look at everything when you're showing your car. You know, they're looking for a pristine example of whatever car you're showing. I don't think it has to be perfect in terms of like blemishes and scratches, but it's all about presentation. So if you can clean the car up as best as possible, then you're gonna win a ribbon, I guess, with the judges. And I got all in these little seams and cracks. All this was cleaned out, all the way up into here, around here, with the gas cap. They didn't look at this, but I made sure this was all cleaned out. Down here, wheel wells. When I had the wheels off, I cleaned the wheel wells out. I just used some of the wheel cleaner, put it on a rag, and then wiped it out. I had to make sure the door handles were all clean. All the little cracks and crevices on the door handles. And then this is where it got tough. The engine, here, let me open up the engine bay. Oops. The engine was probably the hardest thing to clean. I did all the surface stuff as much as I could down here. Made sure there's no oil drips. The water cooler broke a few months back, so that squirt coolant all over the engine bay, so I had to clean all that up. Where it got tough was when you get deep down inside the engine. I couldn't really reach that far back. And I was talking to somebody up there, and he said that he was giving me some tips and tricks on how to go in with a toothbrush or use some chopsticks and wrap like a cloth or something around the chopsticks and like really get in there. And I'm sure that would have taken forever, and I didn't have enough time to do any of that, but I did the best that I could. I cleaned off all of this up here, and yeah, I've got the rear spoiler up. I made sure I cleaned out all in here. It's all dirty now, but from the ride home, but it made sure I got a good rubber cleaner to kind of clean it up and kind of refurbish the rubber here in the back. And the carpeting here, I made sure I vacuumed all this out and cleaned it really well. And then here on the doors, I cleaned those out really well. And then finally the hood. Got stuff in there now, but I made sure the hood was clean underneath there, all along here, all the little cracks in here. I made sure I used a product that kind of made it shine a little bit, like all the plastic parts that were fading. Oh God, all in here. And then I even went down in here, like behind the spare tire, and cleaned all that out. And yeah. One thing that I haven't had to do is the headlights. These have kept up. I had these done a few years ago, and because I keep the car in the garage now, it's helped to preserve the headlights. This is what the car looked like while they were looking at it. Everything was opened up. And you know, these judges, they weren't very strict. I've heard stories of Concours where the judges will go in with a glove or a Q-tip and like reach far into the car to check for dirt, which is kind of crazy. And those cars, and I saw a lot of these up there, they get transported into the car shows because, you know, obviously when you drive it up, it's going to get dirty, and you know, you're putting wear and tear in the car on the drive up. So that's pretty insane. I don't know if I would want to do that. That almost doesn't sound fun, but there she is. So there it is. That's how I got the car ready for the Works reunion. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, I wish I had more time to kind of explain what I was doing, and really I had no clue what I was doing, but how I thought I should have gotten the car ready for the show. So it's a learning experience. There's a lot of things that I messed up on, but hey, there's always next year. And you know, I met a lot of cool people up there that would, I'm sure, would help me get the car ready for another concours. So we'll see you guys in the next video. I hope you enjoyed. Please comment, like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.